Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are all set here, ready to rock and roll, ready to kick off this day, and ready to be able to absolutely move forward on this week. It is Money Monday. Traders, let's do exactly what this day is about. Put the money in Money Monday. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I know. I come out a little strong sometimes. I get a little enthusiastic. I get a little excited. It's again currently 7:32 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm ready to run through a brick wall. I'm ready to put up some Iron Man numbers. I'm ready to swim. I'm ready to jump. I'm ready to take a bath. Right now here, traders, we are about to kick off this week of absolute perfection. This week where we are coming on down to the end of the summer. Now, why am I so excited about this, traders? Because when you are ending off the summer here, what do you think is going to be happening? We're going to start seeing kids back to school. We're going to start seeing that weather slightly change. We're going to see people on Wall Street no longer sitting in their New York Hampton houses, sitting by the beach. They're coming back to work. The summertime, let's just be open and let's be honest. Let's be transparent with everyone. It's slow. It is slow during the summer months. We don't have as much activity during that July-August stretch. People are outside. People are enjoying the weather. People are hanging out with their families. People, again, going to July 4th, going to the lake house, going to the beach. They are not inside. Do you guys remember back in 2020 when we're all forced to stay inside? Do you guys remember that? That was one of the most volatile years, highest volume, most money in the markets we have ever seen. And the reason why is because guess what? What moves stocks? You, me, all of us together, buying and selling. And when people are indoors, when people are inside, when people are again trading, guess what? That means more volatility. So as we do head over into September, October, November, December, we start seeing this market pick up quickly. We start seeing action move on in. We start seeing a lot of people return and the money starts flowing on in. Now, with that being stated, we got 1 week left of summer. 1 week left until, again, we have Labor Day next weekend. Now, this is beautiful and this is awesome, but I do want to make sure every single person is aware of what's coming on up. Now, what's coming on up? September. Now, I am not saying September is going to be green. Most likely, September is going to be red, but it's going to be a very volatile month still. We are going to still see a lot of opportunity. We're going to see a lot of dropping, a lot of fading, a lot of chances to be able to make money. Let's actually go over to this, guys. And the reason why I'm talking about this right here and right now is because I was actually reading this article over on Fox Runner where it says news alerts here. Let's scroll on down. Repost. Not if, but when we fall in September. Let's check this on out here, traders. I want to make sure I'm not covering it up either at all. So I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here for the moment. And actually, I took a screenshot of this picture, so I'm actually just going to post this. And I know you guys have seen me post this before, but I really do just want to make sure that we completely understand. It says, over the past 2 weeks, we have alerted multiple times how September tends to be a red month every year. Now, this is not something to panic over, but simply be aware of. If you are prepared, you can profit during this predictable time. So many people see that, again, over on the S&P 500, we have the last 96 years, and guess what we see? We know that September is tending to be a red month. September right here, right? Look how much red we have during this month. It is one of the only months that produces a red return on average. Now, again, this is the last 96 years in the stock market. Last 96 years in the stock market, 1.55% drop on average. Well, traders, you know what's crazy? Is after September, we go into October, November, December. This is actually the best quarter. The final 3 months is the strongest and the most amount of money. But let's not get out of hand here. What we need to understand is that we are about to head into this 1.55% average return monthly drops. That's over the last 96 years. Now, what we also have is over the last, right here, 1928 to 2023 right here, averaging 1.17% drop. So the thing is here, traders, we are seeing big fades, big falls, big turns in September. This is all natural. Now, what also is very natural is the S&P 500 just hit a brand new record high. So team, traders, investors, boys, girls, everything else. What you have right here is you have the S&P 500 finishing off the summer at a record high. Statistically speaking, we are going to be seeing a red month coming on up. If you start seeing red months, if you have a big downturn, if we start waking up and every single morning over on CNBC or where or whoever you guys are looking at, you start seeing the S&P 500 is currently down 200 points. The Dow drops 800 points. Bitcoin is currently down again 10%, whatever it may be. Is this something to panic over? No, this is not something to panic over. This is something to just be prepared for right now so that you can make the most amount of money possible. Now, with this being stated, this means one of two things. Number one, get ready for puts / shorting positions. Or number two, get ready for dip buying opportunities. If you have the S&P 500 at brand new record highs right now, you have two opportunities. Number one, you are saying to yourself, hey, I'm going to short it. Or number two, it's, hey, let me get ready for a dip buy. I am not saying there is no option for me of let's buy at the record high. I'm not throwing that out there. There's two opportunities: short it, or again, dip buy it when it comes back on down. I am not telling anyone, and I refuse to tell anyone to say, let's go buy the S&P 500 at the highest it's ever been before, statistically speaking, we are going to be having a red month. That's not the right way for me to trade. That's not the right way for me to be able to mentor. That's not the right way for me to be able to say these things to you guys right now, right? So again, do I think anyone should be doing long-term positions as in buying and entering right now? The answer is no. I don't think so whatsoever. If you want to start a long-term position, let's wait until the third week of September. Let's see if that damage is going to be done. Now, can I sit here and say 100% guarantee that we are going to fall in September? No, I cannot. There could be a green month in September, and if that is, that's incredible and that's amazing. But at the same time here, traders, we do want to know we are having a slight pullback right now. Slight pullback at this moment. We did see the S&P 500 come on up towards 646.50. I was thinking we might get up towards around that 650-ish area, but at the same time, we are having a little bit of a drop right now, and we're going to see over these next few days, are we going to start trickling on down? Now, Dek, could we still hit a new high, record high? Could we go all the way back up to 646 today, 648, 649? Absolutely. But I do think somewhere right around that 650 mark is going to be a top area. Now, for anyone who was not here last week as well. Last week, I said, hey, everyone, I want to be able to pass a prop firm. I want to be able to jump on in, pass a prop firm, and show you guys how to be able to pass a prop firm. Traders, for anyone who does not know, I said, let's do this. Let's wait until the S&P 500 hits a brand new record high, and then let's get ready for shorts. So guess what I did over on Friday? On Friday, I did a prop firm test. I had $100,000. For you to pass the prop firm, they say you have to be able to make $8,000 from the $100,000 before you lose $12,000. Guess what I did? S&P 500 ran on up towards those record highs. I did a short position, woke up this morning, passed my prop firm. Pretty awesome, right? So my initial balance was, again, a $1,000. I had to hit $8,000, couldn't lose $12,000. Guess what? My position was basically straight on up, passed my prop firm. Number of trades, 2 trades. When you are doing these prop firm tests right here, team, you don't want to be doing 100 different trades. What you want to be doing on these trades right here is doing one good solid trade that is going to be able to make you money. One good solid trade to be able to make you cash. So now again, I passed the prop firm. I'm all set, ready to go. I'm all good to get $100,000 if I want to over on this prop firm. But I wanted to do that to make sure that you guys completely understand where I'm at, what I'm focusing on, and what I'm looking at here. So that is absolutely crucial, very important for every single investor so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Now, I also want to show my live position with live money. Again, I just talked about the prop firm, but I also started another position over on Friday. Now, what was the position I started over on Friday? If anyone was over in chat and you guys know that. This right here, traders, this might get some people going a little bit. I actually started a short over on MicroStrategy. I started a short over on MSTR. This was over on Friday at 12:30, 8-22, where it says starting a 150 share short over on MicroStrategy. Doing shares, not contracts, starting a multi-day short here. I started it on Friday. I'm still holding right now on Monday. I think the whole market will fall in September, as I've been saying, but Bitcoin, we move quicker, right? Bitcoin moves double to the S&P 500 in most cases. So I want to take advantage of, again, that MicroStrategy potentially falling even more. Now, team, when I take a look over here, MSTR, what is happening? Well, MSTR, ever since I started my position, we are having a nice gap down. At this moment, over on my position, I am currently sitting with a $1,700 profit. Yes, guys, MSTR started my position at the price of $355. Where's $355 at? That is going to be $355.74. That is at this line right here. So this line right here is where I started my position. This morning, I woke on up, and MicroStrategy was down towards around 342. Currently was up around $2,000. Right now I'm up $1,700. Now I can sit here right now and I can get out of this play. I could get out of MicroStrategy right now and lock in a $1,700 profit. Who here thinks that's a good idea? Who here thinks it's all right, Deck? Get in right now. You're already up $1,700. You jumped in on Friday. Now again, you're wanting this to fade and fall. This has so much more potential, I think. This play has so much more room to fade and fall and drop. Now, the thing is, I know there's a lot of people that love their play. No one likes when someone goes against your play. No one likes when you have investments on the long side and someone comes on the mic and someone says, hey, I'm going against this play. Now, guys, I will tell you here right now, I think every play is going to start fading and falling. It's September. So I'm not public enemy number one right now. It is, again, just being someone who is studying, someone who's looking at the markets, someone who's understanding what we have. If I know that we have seen Bitcoin run up towards record highs and the S&P 500 has run up record highs, and we tend to see pullbacks in September, I want to try to take advantage of that. Also, MicroStrategy is a very controversial stock and tends to get a lot of panic and tends to get a lot of greed when it does run. We know that Michael Saylor essentially has said, hey, MicroStrategy is our company. That's our company. But no one actually cares about the company. All they do is they take every single amount of Bitcoin they possibly can. They buy it. Who cares what happens with the company? No one actually trades MicroStrategy for their earnings or their partnerships or their revenue or their guidance. No one cares about that. Everyone just says, hey, MicroStrategy is just another form of investing in Bitcoin. And you know what? We'll see what happens with that, right? Some people say it's a big Ponzi scheme. Some people say, again, they're going to eventually get like debt out. I don't know. I have no idea about all that stuff, guys. That's, again, controversies. That's, again, maybe conspiracies. I have no idea in that manner. But what I will say is I'm a person that likes to, again, trade off stats. I'm a person who likes to trade off facts. I'm a person who likes to trade off charts. I'm a person who likes to trade off technical analysis. Now, again, why am I starting a short over on MicroStrategy other than the fact that it's in September, other than the fact that it's during this time here? It's because I'm taking a look at the chart right now. And when I take a look at the chart, I am seeing for the first time, MSTR is underneath the 13 EMA, the green line. It's underneath, the 50-day moving average, the blue line, and it's also underneath the 200-day moving average, the red line. Have you ever seen a time, and let's scroll back to see if there is a time, that we were underneath all three indicators? Because right here, we're above it. We're above it. We're above it. You guys can see right here, we are above it. You guys can see right here, we are above it. You can see, again, we're still above it. You guys can see we are above it. We are above it. Maybe right there back in 2023 for like a 1 or 2 days, right? The thing is, it has been years since we have done this type of crossover. It has been years since we have seen this type of, scary opportunity right now where, yes, some people are going to sit here and say right now, Deck, you are about to get caught up in a dip buy. Here is a dip buy opportunity off this bounce. Here's a dip buy opportunity off this bounce. Here's a dip buy opportunity off this bounce. You could 100% be correct that could be a dip buy opportunity off this bounce. But I am seeing we are clearly underneath it right now. We are clearly fading on down, and we have September right around the corner. And again, MicroStrategy has some controversy. Okay, there's a lot of, iffy things on this business model, basically being a company on the stock market that no one actually cares what the company does, and it's just held on out by issuing new shares constantly to be able to say, hey, it's like a new form of investing in Bitcoin. I have no idea how that's going to happen, right? So with MicroStrategy having these downtrends, having this indicators, being on the bearish side, let's go back over towards a different chart here. Let's go back to a different time frame because there's actually even something more important. Okay. And what's even more important is not the daily chart here, because just a little fun fact for every single person. If you want to look for the best opportunities for dip buys on, let's say, $100 million, billion-dollar companies, the best way to do this is go into larger time frames. Now, if you go back into, let's say, a weekly or monthly time frame, let's say over on the S&P 500, what do you guys realize? The best overall dip buy opportunity on a weekly time frame, that 200-day moving average, the S&P 500 back in April came right above that 200-day moving average. Nice little bounce play, right? Back in 2020, slightly underneath it, bounce play, right at it, bounce play. You guys can clearly see, hey, Deck, anytime the S&P 500 on a weekly chart has ever come back on down to the 200-week moving average, it has been the absolute best time to get involved, the absolute best time to trade in any sort of way. Now, if I go back over towards a monthly chart, take a look at this. The monthly chart right here. You guys could see dip buy and bounce play off the 50-month moving average, 50 bounce play, 50 bounce play, 50 bounce play. Dek, how did you get in? I already showed this a bajillion times. How did I get in on Monday, April 7th? This is all my long-term investments right here. Literally showing Monday, April 7th, Monday, April 7th, Monday, April 7th. How did I get filled on every single one of my long-term investments on Monday, April 7th? Because I jumped in right when we came on down the 50-month moving average. So the larger the time frame, the more influence it will have. So traders, I do want to take a look at something here. Well, what am I looking at? Well, let's go back over towards the weekly time frame over on MSTR here for a second. If I take a look over on MSTR, MicroStrategy on the weekly time frame, we are sitting at some level that's extremely important. And what's that level here? That level is going to be that 50-week moving average. Traders, what do you guys realize? You guys can see bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. And of course, we just had a first little start to a small little bounce. First little start to a small little bounce. I will say this. If the price of let's see the exact price, 330. If the price of 330 holds, it will be an absolutely beautiful dip buy once again. But if that does not hold, it is going to be pure chaos. It is going to be pure panic. We are probably going to see one of the biggest red weeks, biggest red candles that we have seen in a very long time over on MSTR. You can clearly see the trend. This is not things that I'm making on up. I'm playing both sides here, as in I'm telling you what I'm seeing. I'm short over on MicroStrategy right now. And it's all coming on down to, can it hold that 330, that 50-week moving average right here? If we do not, that is going to be a support line that has been holding since 2023. If you lose a 2-year support line, that is going to lead towards panic, to selling, to dropping. And I would not be shocked if we fall all the way on down towards 260, something like that. And it's just because right here, traders, we are set up in a perfect storm. We are set on up where the S&P 500 just hit record highs. We are set on up right now where the MSTR is dropping back on down. We're set on up right now where September is right around the corner and we should start seeing fading and falling. We are set up at this moment where we see Ethereum kind of moving on up and Bitcoin not moving up as high. We're set up right now as there's a lot of controversy with MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor. And again, saying how legit is MicroStrategy with their business model? Is this the greatest revolution of how to be able to invest? Just don't care about your company, just invest in crypto, right? Or is it going to be, it's something that could collapse? So, as you guys can see, I'm in on this play. I shorted MSTR, 150 shares. This is a $51,000 investment on the short side, currently sitting with a $1,700 profit at the average cost of $355. Everything is right here in front of you. Jumped in on this play, of course, over on Wednesday. I want to explain it. You might hate it. You might say, Dek, I love this play. That's great. And you know what? As I said, as long as it holds 330, you will be right. You will win. I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm not saying, guys, doomsday is right around the corner. I am not saying that. I am saying as long as you're above 330, ladies and gentlemen, you are absolutely fine. But if 330 starts cracking, things can start getting ugly. Looking on the daily chart, we are underneath every single one of these indicators for the first time in 3 years. That's a little bit scary. On again, the daily chart over on the S&P 500, we just hit brand new record highs, indicating a top, indicating a pullback could be coming, getting everything dragged on down after Jerome Powell just spoke on Friday. Right? This is what I looked at. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm aware of. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that. Hey, every single person that's watching right now, make sure if you guys are over on StockTwits, if you guys are over on Twitter, if you guys are over wherever you guys are at, smash that thumbs up right now. Guys, I'm telling you everything I'm doing. I'm showing you guys live trades. I'm giving you guys live alerts. I'm going over absolutely everything. If you guys are enjoying this, smash that thumbs up right now. Get over into the chat room. Let me see you this morning. Hit me with a good old Dekmar trades. Oh, baby. Man. I'm excited. I'm excited. I am. I'm excited here. So, wanted to make sure every single person completely understands where we are at right now at this moment. Now, team, what did we also just see? Let's also take a step back and let's go down here a little bit. What were some big things that we need to kind of just play a little catch up on? Little catch up on right here, traders, is what happened over on Friday. Okay. So let's scroll on down here. Okay, right here, traders. Jerome Powell said what? What does this mean? On Friday, what happened? On Friday, we did see Jerome Powell walk on out maybe for his final time at the Jackson Hole. And he went into an in-depth speech, which led to the S&P 500 spiking all the way back up towards record highs. Now, after Jerome Powell has spoke at Jackson Hole, guess what we are seeing? We are seeing that there's an 87% chance that we are going to cut rates in September. An 87% chance that we are going to be cutting rates in September. Now, guys, when we cut rates, what does that usually lead to? When we cut rates, that is leading towards excitement. That's leading towards happiness. That's leading towards people saying, hey, things are cheaper now. I can go get that mortgage for a cheaper rate. I could go take out that car loan for a cheaper rate. I could be able to, swipe that credit card and not have as much interest. People tend to spend money when we cut rates. Now, that's absolutely great. So let's do something real quick, because we know that, again, September is supposed to be dropping and fading and getting ugly. So the thing is, if we start cutting rates, though, in September, would that still lead towards the market start fading and falling? But, I just typed in on Google here, when is the September meeting? The September meeting is not until September 16th and 17th. So maybe a good way to start thinking about this is, okay, we know from history, we know from the facts that we usually tend to see the S&P 500 fade and fall and drop during September. But we are going to be cutting rates in September. There's an 87% chance that we're going to be doing that. So maybe we fall this week, maybe next week, maybe the following week. And then again, on that Wednesday, we cut rates. And then guess what? We start getting ourselves ready for the back half. What's the back half, guys? The back half as we start getting ready for October, November, December, as we go into one of the best stretches of the year. Now, team, I am not a fortune teller. Maybe October, November, December is going to be red. Maybe September is going to be green. Maybe things could be inverse. What? I have no idea. But all I'm saying is what we have seen. What we have seen is red September, green everywhere else. I don't want you to panic if you start seeing some dropping and fading and falling, because guess what, team? We have something in our back pocket. At any moment, we could cut rates. At any moment, we could cut rates, and guess what? This market's going to fly all the way back up towards record highs. Traders, let me ask you guys a question. If we scrolled on back towards the S&P 500 and we go all the way back to that scary time back in 2020, what happened back in 2020? You guys already know. We had, again, that very weird time back in 2020 where people were nervous, where people couldn't touch each other, where you had to stay inside, and we started seeing the entire market collapse, right? Let me go back here. 2020, right here. You guys can see this. The stock market went from 340, faded all the way on down towards 312, 310, faded all the way down to 280, started falling back down to 260, started falling back on down to 240, started going back down to 230. We saw the stock market crash over $100 over on the S&P 500. Now, as the S&P 500 was fading and falling and dropping, what did the Federal Reserve do? They said, hey, we are about to fall into a recession. They said, we are about to fall into a recession right here. We're going to fall in and we're going to drop and things are going to get ugly. So what did Jerome Powell do? He said, guys, we're going to cut rates. Cut rates all the way down to like zero. You guys don't got to pay anything back with interest. What did we then see? We saw the market absolutely explode. Let's go back into a little bit of a larger time frame, like a weekly time frame. This is back in 2020. This market exploded. Why did it explode? Let me buy a house. Let me buy a car. Let me swipe my credit card. Let's give money out to people. $1,500 to every person. You guys remember that? So when you stimulate the economy, the market flies on up. Now, again, you know what's crazy? Is that we have been waiting for interest rate cuts for how long now? Since like 2022, we have been waiting for interest rate cuts. It's been about 3 years waiting for these cuts. And the thing is, the market's already still climbing higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Once we start cutting rates, that's just going to unleash the beast even more. Once we start cutting rates again, it's going to be not as crazy as 2020, but somewhat like it, where all of a sudden housing prices start going back on up, where car prices go back on up, where again, people start swiping their credit cards, where people are in a time of spending. People like that time. People like the time when times are spending, where money is easier to come by. People enjoy those times. And we see that as a reflection in the stock market. So September 17th, that could be a great start, especially as we head into October, November, December. But until that time, we might have a few weeks of pain. And again, we will see what we get. We will see what's going to be happening. We will see, again, where the buying volume is going to take us. Now, we could also see something very cool as well. Let's just type in Bitcoin, right? Let's type in Bitcoin monthly performance real quick. Bitcoin monthly performance. Does anyone know what is the best month of Bitcoin here, traders? Well, I'm going to save this image. This is a pretty cool image. Let's check this on out here. So what is Bitcoin's best month and worst month? What do you guys think? Well, if we take a look right here, we do have August, right? On an average gives a plus 1% return. That's over in August, a plus 1% return. Traders, do you guys realize something? Let's just go through the bottom list right here. Okay, let's just go through the bottom list here at this moment. On average, January, plus 3%. February, plus 13%. 12%, 13%, 8%. June, scratch. July, plus 7%. August, plus 1%. September, minus or down 3.7%. But then look at October. On average, a 21% return. November, a 46% return. December, 4% return. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at the S&P 500 or if you're looking over on Bitcoin. Bitcoin right here has a negative 3.7% return. So even now, am I still crazy with, again, my MSTR short for the next few days, maybe the next few weeks? Well, Dek, again, you're shorting MSTR. Yeah, when the S&P 500 statistically, historically is known to drop and fade and fall. Yeah, Dek, well, again, the S&P 500, that's different than MSTR. Okay, so what does MSTR do? Well, MSTR, again, just doesn't even care about their company, and all they do is put all their money into Bitcoin, simply put. Now, respectively. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin's returns. Bitcoin returns, guys, falls September. Only month it falls on. Why would I not short the market? Why would I not short these companies? It's not about me saying doomsday recessions are right around the corner. It's just a 15, 20-day stretch that I think we can make opportunities. Now, if you're saying, well, Dek, I don't like shorting. I don't like doing put contracts. I don't like looking for reversals. That's absolutely fine. Wait for, again, the drop and fade. Wait for the dip buy. Wait for that new opportunity. So again, wait for that possible crash. And then get ready for some new longs. If you like MSTR, if you like Bitcoin, if you like the S&P 500, amazing. I like it all too. Just wait 3 weeks and then get great dip buy opportunities for what's coming up in October, November, December. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not a hater. I'm just, again, playing the game right now. That's it. So we want to see, of course, what we have coming on up next. Now, traders, it is 8 o'clock in the morning, or about to be 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's scroll on back. Let's go back to our all news here. Let's see what comes out over on Fox Runner here for a second. And let's just see. I'm going to turn on, you guys won't hear the voice alerts through stock twits here, but let's just see what we get. Guys, ONMD did come out with an agreement, 4 minutes ago? ONMD just came out with an agreement 4 minutes ago, a little bit of spike. We did just have we have significant data to present significant data, DTIL. Let's see if what we have here. Another agreement. We have a lot of news right now. A lot of news. Let's see which one's spiking. ONMD is the best so far. That's a smaller play though, guys. Little heads on up. ONMD, nice little spike, did come out at 7:55 a.m. Let's see if anything else catches some fire at this moment. We do have an agreement over on IMRX. Guys, IMRX, guys, this is a pretty big agreement. IMRX talks about a clinical supply agreement with Lilly. Well, again, IMRX, guys, that is only a $5 stock working now with a $712 stock. IMRX might get a little hype. Let's see what else we have here. Anyone else see anything that's kind of going crazy? We do have ASST, which already is coming on, already has a little bit of a spike. Guys, and this is what we're seeing a lot. You know, ASST traders, we're seeing, you know, ASST is buying a ton of Solana, right? What is this? Ethizilla announced its authorization of $250 million stock purchase. Seems like the best press release right around 8 o'clock so far is this ONMD one. ONMD looks like it's the best press release so far. 35% gain. ONMD bouncing up right here. You guys can see the stock is getting a little bit of momentum, is starting to get a little bit of hype. So, ONMD. Always right there. Dek, how do you, again, find these plays, you know, this quickly? You just got to be able to have a news scanner. So, again, Fox Runner is the best and quickest news scanner. Obviously, I want to use the best equipment. Use the best equipment. Find plays right when they come on out. When you find plays right when they come on out, guess what? You see a lot of big-time ripping. You see a lot of big-time running. You see a lot of big-time climbing. So, always very important. Always a lot of hype. Always a lot of momentum. Always got to stay ready. Traders, every single person here, standing on up, getting themselves excited. Man, we got an absolutely awesome day ahead. So, traders, ONMD, top play right now. Anything else? ASST, Koya. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Little fun. Little fun. All right, traders. Also, little sign out here, team. For anyone who does not know, you guys already saw right here, over the weekend, I did pass my prop firm challenge. Now, again, it wasn't over the weekend. It was just the fact that the S&P 500 dropped on down. And again, I shorted the S&P 500 after hitting record highs on Friday, came back on down, was able to, again, pass my prop firm, getting $100,000 now for this prop account. Now, traders, finally, One Stop Prop is doing something that I really enjoy. What do I really enjoy, guys? I enjoy doing the tournaments. Did anyone do the last tournament with us? The last tournament, for anyone who does not know, is 100% free to enter. And it comes on down to who can trade the craziest, who can make the most amount of money in 5 days. Whoever makes the most amount of money in 5 days gets $500. So, little heads on up. I want to invite you guys to this. It's awesome. It's fun. Shout out to One Stop Prop on this. But we are going to have a free entry. Don't got to pay anything whatsoever. I think you just got to put your email. Whoever comes in first place gets $500 in cash. Whoever comes in second place gets a $200,000 prop firm account. Third place, $100,000. Fourth and fifth, 40% off any, again, prop firm account that you guys would like. Little heads on up. I do not own this prop firm account. All I do is, again, work with them because I do feel like that they have been very kind and generous to us. So they have set up a tournament. The tournament is free to enter. Whoever makes the most amount of money by Friday wins. Sound good? So if you guys have not done this yet, make sure you guys go do it. I'm going to join the competition right now, get myself in there. So I am all set, ready to rock and roll. But if you guys have not yet, I'm going to post this. Again, free entry, $500 to the winner. You guys can go over to my StockTwits account. You guys can go over to my Twitter account. I will also post this over in the YouTube chat if you guys want to copy and paste the link over there, and you guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll here. Give me a second. Let me again grab this just because it's fun. And hey, if you guys can win $500, go for it. So I will say that, guys, you know, hey, whoever wins gets $500 in cash, not $500 in funny money, $500 in cash, so that you guys are all set, ready to rock here. Boom, boom, a boom. Boom. So let's run this on up. Let's get some competition. I want to see who's going to compete. Traders, it is crazy. Last time I did win. All right. I will say it's good and bad when I win. Because last time I did this competition, I did win it. And that's where people are like, oh, he's cheating. He's cheating. Obviously, he won. He's cheating. I didn't cheat in any sort of way. I just traded great and I ended up winning. So it was awesome. I did win $500. One Stop Prop gave me $500. But the thing is here, traders, let's see who wins. People do trade a little crazy on this. I'm going to throw that out there right now. People do get a little crazy on this. People do, again, just kind of throw out random trades and hope for the best. But we will be doing that throughout this entire week. So throughout this entire week, we'll be all set, ready to rock and roll. We'll be all set, ready to go. Make sure you guys sign on up to that if you guys have not yet. And every single person should be all good here. All right. Here we go. Now, team, you guys already know my trade. You guys already know what I'm thinking. You guys already know where I'm at. Let's get a little prepared on today, okay? So what are the best stocks today so far? What are the best plays so far? What are the plays that are making people stand on up and start dancing a little bit, get a little bit of the arrumbe? Let's see what we have at this time, traders. So, number one is let's get ourselves prepared. How do we get ourselves prepared? Let's go over to top gainers with news or filings right now. Top gainers with news or filings. Let's go ahead and see what we have. These are all of the best stocks so far today. The number one top gainer at this moment, CAPS. Let's go ahead and just kind of check this on out real quick. CAPS. This stock here, traders, this stock has gone from $1 and it's spiked all the way up towards around 210. Now, traders, why is that? What is happening right here? Well, it's saying CAPS adds $11 million in revenue with Carolina Stone acquisition. These press releases here, team, are pretty simple. Acquisition is a good keyword, right? Now, why is acquisition a good keyword? Because when you acquire another company or you acquire $11 million, obviously that is going to be reflected in the stock's price. Am I wrong? If you see, hey, CAPS acquires an $11 million company, you are no longer a $1 stock. That $11 million has to be reflected somewhere on the stock's price. So CAPS went all the way from $1 and spiked all the way up towards $2.15. So it makes sense. Okay, hey, this play went on a big rip and run. You guys already know, again, what are some hot keywords that we want to be looking for. I believe acquire or acquires is going to be a 2-star word. Here's an acquisition 1-star word right there. But again, you can always add it if you want to think it's a little bit better. You can always add your keywords, put a little voice alert for it as well so that you're all set, ready to rock and roll. But it is a good keyword expansion, another good keyword. Obviously, when a company is expanding, when a company is growing, when a company is, again, being able to merge with other companies and be able to become a bigger company, it's all reflected in the stock's price. So CAPS, very good press release right here. STSS came on out with an 8K filing. Now, STSS, guys, 7:26 a.m., 52% gain. What did this 8K filing state? Well, if we scroll on down, it says security purchase agreement. It says that they're entering into a security purchase agreement where the company is going to be buying shares of their own company at $6.50 per share. Cool. So let's go ahead. If we have STSS right here, and we want to take a look at what's going on with this play, STSS, this stock right here, has gone from $7, exploded up to $18, and then now drop back on down towards $11. Now, Dek, why did this stock explode on up over on STSS this morning? Well, it exploded on up simply enough because when you have the company insiders buying shares, millions of dollars, people get excited. And also, guess what? When the company's buying shares, the stock price has to move on up. So we usually see, again, some excitement over on these plays right here. We have CAPS with some great news. STSS with some great news. What about OSRH right here? What's going on with OSRH? Because I do think OSRH had news, but I think it had news again on Friday maybe, because it looks like it spiked over on Friday here. Nope, no news. Guys, no news. I'm not seeing anything over on OSRH. OSRH is up 105%. I am seeing no credibility, no news at this time. Stock went from 50 cents and spiked up to $1. So CAPS, credibility. STSS, credibility. ASST, credibility. OSRH, no credibility. So what does that usually mean? Just a little heads on up. Because a lot of times, let's be frank with each other. A lot of times stocks spike up with no news. A lot of times stocks start ripping and running for no credibility in any sort of way. It happens. It's the small cap world. And when we're looking at the top gainers in the entire stock market, sometimes we see plays that are up for no reason. And guess what? People continue to buy it. And why do people continue to buy it? Because again, all they are greedy, right? They're greedy. They want to go ahead and they want to make money. Oh, wow, OSRH is up. I want to buy it. Why are you buying it? I don't know. Other people are making money. I want to make money. But the thing is, once momentum fades and sentiment changes, those are the ones that can easily fade and fall. Those are the ones that can easily drop. Those are the ones that can easily get weaker and weaker and weaker and fade and start kind of collapsing on you. So the thing is, OSRH, what have we seen? Gap up, gives it all back. Gap up, gives it all back. Gap up, gives it all back. Unless there is credibility. And if I'm missing any credibility here today, please let me know. OSRH, this would be one that I would say, watch for a little bit of a spike and then possibly give a whole lot back. Watch for a little bit of that fade and that weakness, and then watch that possible big time drop right back on down. Because those are the ones that could easily, again, start giving a whole lot back over on OSRH here. Now, what else do we want to see at this time? OSRH definitely has, again, some opportunity to spike. We got to see like what kind of takes the hype of today, takes the volume of today. But as you guys know, I am going to be shorting the majority of my trade over in MSTR, looking for that magic number coming on up, 330, right? We went into full detail over on MSTR today about that 330 area and seeing what we could possibly do if, again, it starts cracking that 330 mark. So MSTR, we will see what we get, and we will see what's going to be coming on up over on this day. So things are going to be very exciting, and things are going to be absolutely awesome. Now, traders, we have a lot of new people joining us here on today. We have a lot of new people over on Tradecaster over on today, because what does this week kick off for us? A little heads up, regardless of stocks, regardless of alerts, regardless of place. What do we have this week? This week, traders, is going to be our full-time trader bootcamp. Yes, today all the way until Friday, I am probably not going to be actively day trading as much. Now, the reason why I'm not going to be actively day trading is number one, my funds are in the MSTR short. And again, number two, we are going to be doing the prop firm tournament. That's going to be awesome. But we are doing from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock our boot camp. And our boot camp is going to be A to Z, 0 to 100. There are, and I will be the first one to admit this, traders. There are times that people sign up, people again watch me trade, and I jump into things so advanced, we lose them sometimes. And I just kind of sometimes make the assumption, oh wow, I've been doing this for 10 years. People know exactly what I'm talking about. Coming on up here, traders, starting in about 45 minutes, we are kicking off day one of our boot camp. We are going over absolutely everything from I know nothing about the stock market all the way up to, hey, I know everything there is to know that Dek knows about the stock market. So this week, final week of summer, this week before we move into September, this week from Monday to Friday, by Friday, you will know everything I know about the stock market. So make sure you guys are all set. Make sure you guys are prepared and make sure you guys are ready to go. I know there's so much enthusiasm. I know there's so much hype. And I know so many traders are absolutely jacked up on this, as this is, I know nothing about stock trading and I want to become a full-time stock trader. This year, doing this boot camp here, guys, I am going to let you guys know this is probably going to be the most intense one because I'm eliminating all fluff. Now, what do I mean by that? Is we have, again, 5 days to basically go through as much as we possibly can. I am not going to sit here and tell stories, sit here and talk about analogies, and sit here and go slow with it. I am going to try to cram in as much possible education as I can. We are going to move. We are going to be quick. I'm going to give you the direct points, not talking around points, just straight to the point. This is what you need to know. This is why. Let's go to the next topic. This is what you need to know. This is why. This is why we have to go to the next topic. So if that sounds like something you want to get yourself involved in, we are kicking that off here, team, in the next 15 minutes. 15 minutes over on tradecaster.com. We dropped all the prices to the lowest they've ever been. So yes, you guys can come on over here. You guys do get a free 7-day pass, and you will have access to our summer boot camp that we are kicking on off. So let's get ready to go. Summer boot camp does kick on off in about 45 minutes. Where this is going to be quick, it's going to be intense, it's going to be about 2.5 hours long every single day. We are going to record it, we're going to send it to you guys so that you guys have it for all members that are watching and joining. And then on top of that, hey, by Friday, you guys are going to be ready to take your training to the next level. I can guarantee that. So, going to be a blast, and we are kicking that off. This is such a massive week for all of us. So I am ready to go here. Traders, we got about 15 minutes left over on StockTwits. I just want to make sure every single person is prepared. Went over some of the top dogs of today. Let's make sure we're not missing anything whatsoever. ONMD, we talked about that. CAPS, we talked about that. September dropping, we've talked about that. We talked about, let's go right here. ASST, again, becoming a Solana treasury, almost like a MicroStrategy type mover, but we talked about that. We also talked about how, again, Bitcoin usually has one of its worst months in September, hence why I'm also shorting MicroStrategy. So again, we talked about that. September, only month with a negative Bitcoin return. So again, that's absolutely awesome. We are seeing Friday's top gainers, EEIQ and MODV. We're, again, some of the two top gainers. So again, make sure you guys go check those on out. Absolutely beautiful. Ethereum over the weekend did hit new record highs. Little heads on up. Ethereum moving itself on up. One of those big reasons why that's been going so well is because Bitmersion, which is, again, Tom Lee's company with Ethereum. We do want to know tickers leading their sectors. Just little heads on up, guys. Little heads on up. You guys can check on out. What are the hottest chip stocks? Nvidia, AVGO, TSM, AMD, chip plays. What are the hottest data center stocks? NBIS, LPLD, IREN. Dek, what are the hottest nuclear stocks? BE, GEV, TLN, OKLO. And here's some other ones if you guys want to dive into it. Hyperscalers, network, fintech, crypto, real estate, space stocks, software, e-commerce, mobility, rare earth materials, social, and health. Make sure you guys go check this on out as well. Let's go ahead and check this on out. Any sort of economic data that we need to be aware of going into this week. Monday, August 25th, open door, guys, and ASST are set up for a volatile week of trading based on options volume. Open, guys. Anyone who does not know this company, this is a Wall Street Bets stock. Wall Street Bets has completely taken over, ticker OPEN. People are absolutely loving that play. ASST, guys. There was a lot of option volume over on ASST, and we can also see ASST came out with a press release this morning. So if you guys were looking at the options chain over on Friday, we had a lot of contracts going through. Most likely, guess what? Like rat holes, little insider information showing, hey, possibility that we could see some stuff coming on up. PDD, earnings later on this week. Great news, guys. Earnings season is over. We don't have to wait until after hours anymore or the morning pre-market. Earnings season is now over. We can now get back to hot press releases. All right? Any sort of big news coming on up? The biggest news, guys, is going to be over on Friday, where we do have PCE data. So again, PCE data over on Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. PCE data is going to be big. As you guys know, we don't have any big earnings except for one. Okay? I'm sitting here saying, guys, no more big earnings. There's one more big earnings, okay? There's one more big earnings. Which one is that, guys? I think everyone sees it. It kind of just like attracts my eyes right away. It's right here, guys. Wednesday, we do have NVIDIA's earnings. Wednesday is NVIDIA's earnings. Now, NVIDIA usually beats earnings every single freaking time. Every time it just does better and better and better. At some point, it's not. At some point, it's not. And maybe that's like the curse that NVIDIA has now, again, put up upon itself, is that NVIDIA beats quarterly earnings every single time. At some point, it's going to get to a point that people are expecting so much that it just can't live up to the hype, right? It's almost getting too big for itself. Now, that has not happened yet, but it could happen in the future. Little heads up for every single person, okay? Talked about, again, what was going on with the rate cuts at Jackson Hole. Talked about what, again, Jerome Powell talked about with inflation, with labor market, with interest rates. And I think that's going to be, kind of the main talk of the town to make sure that every single person is set, ready to go, and obviously absolutely excited for this day. Traders, today we are going to be doing the summer boot camp, and today we are going to participate in the tournament to win a free $500. Again, I'm wishing every single person luck on that to win their free $500 and see what we have. Guys, ASST starting to move itself on up here a little bit more as well. So ASST starting to get a little bit of hype, starting to get a little bit of attention, and starting to get themselves a little bit of volume right here, traders. Hey, guys, it is Monday morning. I am so absolutely jacked up for this week. I'm so absolutely jacked up for what's going to be coming on up already on this week. We are sitting with a $2,000 profit. Already sitting with a $2,000 profit at this moment. And as you guys know, I went into full detail on my trade. MSTR, what is the biggest price point of this entire trade? The biggest price point is going on over to a weekly chart here and saying, are we going to hold 330? If 330 holds, this stock will be absolutely fine. Buyers, you will have every right to call me out, say, hey, Dek, it didn't crack 330, ha, 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 and that's fine, right? That's good, all right? I'm not against you in any way, but I am against, again, the odds, right? Or not, I'm with the odds against the trend. Well, I'm with the trend right now. I'm against buyers. I'm against buyers right now, okay? And I've given all my reasons. September, S&P 500 returns, Bitcoin returns, cracking again all the moving averages, coming down to 330, hitting brand new record highs, yada, yada, yada. I'm not living in la la land. I'm living in, again, what the numbers tell me, okay? I want to just give it to you straight up. I want to, again, be able to tell you absolutely everything so that you're all good, ready to go. Dek, could I just do a short over on the S&P 500 or Bitcoin or MicroStrategy over in the competition? You definitely could do that as well. And again, traders, I'm not telling every single person I'm 100% going to win. I could lock in my profits right now and take $2,000 and kick off my day, right? That's not a bad trade in any sort of way. I could, again, sit here and say, hey, I'm kicking off my money Monday with a $2,000 profit. Boom. But I will tell you, I do want to give it a little bit of time. I do want to see if we're going to crack this 330 mark and get this historic drop. I do want to see if this is going to be right around the corner. I do want to see if this is going to be happening. But this is, again, what I call preparation. This is what I want to do. I want to prepare for success. I can't be scared. If I'm scared, I'm never going to be a great trader. You can't be a scuba dive instructor if you're scared of the ocean. You can't be a pilot if you're scared of heights. You cannot be a public speaker if you're scared of being social. You cannot be a stock trader if you're scared of putting money into the market. You have to put money in the market. Well, it's a lot easier to be a scuba diver if you know how to swim. It's a lot easier to be a pilot if you know everything there is to know about aviation. It's a lot easier to public speak if you are a great talker and very social and have done it in the past. It's very easy to be successful in the stock market if you realize trends, if you realize technical analysis, if you realize price direction, if you realize the history and the facts. It's a lot easier to be able to get into place. So I want to ease you into positions that are going to be helpful, ease you into positions that can help you make money, ease you into positions where you guys can be able to come out on top. All right. So traders, ladies and gentlemen, for the absolutely final time right here, I just want to say I am so jacked up on this week. Smash that thumbs on up. Let's get ready to rock and roll. If you guys have not yet, every single person, come on over to tradecaster.com. We are kicking off the summer boot camp in about 30 minutes, and we are going A to Z, 0 to 100 for the next 2 hours straight, ready to rock and roll and ready to make this money. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys go sign on up to the 100% free entry prop firm challenge. Winner gets $500 in cash. There's no issues. There's no fee. You can just win $500. So make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll over on that. I am live over on my short over on MSTR right now. Little heads on up as well for anyone who does not know. The charts are from Trade Ideas, where I get all my hot news every morning is Fox Runner. Make sure you guys go check them on out. And my broker is Cobra Trading, so that you guys are all good. Hey, it's going to be an amazing week. It's going to be an incredible month ahead. Make sure you guys are getting ready for it, and let's do everything we can to be able to come out on top. I'm going to switch over to tradecaster.com, but StockTwits Nation, I appreciate you. I love you. Want to go over all the information I could possibly give to make you the best trader you can become this week. I'll see you over in chat, and thank you so much. Help me wrap this thing on up, guys. You guys know the drill here. In 3, 2, 1. StockTwits, I love you. I'll see everyone over on Tradecaster. Thank you so much.